listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The New Normal After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The New Normal After Show.
Hello, everyone. Woo, yeah.
It's a party in here.
Yeah, there's music this time. Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another recap of The New Normal for you AfterBuzz fans. This is Season 1, Episode 6, Bryanzilla. Great episode. I am your host, Lauren Leonelli.
And I'm Kristyn Burtt, joining Lauren. We're excited to be here.
Yes, we are very excited to buzz about this lovely, lovely show. So tonight, we dealt with a lot of issues surrounding marriage. Thoughts and views on marriage and commitment, and we had a little fake wedding that was happening too, which was pretty cute.
The best way to have a fake wedding with a 9-year-old.
And like all the works, right?
Oh, it was great.
I mean, that was amazing.
Catering.
The whole 9.
Custom dress.
I mean, yeah, the leaf dress, so super cute. So I think that commitment was kind of brought up a lot in this episode, and I think, you know, there's different ways to look at what a commitment means. I mean, you can get married, and marriage is a commitment, but, you know, they brought up a lot of people get divorced, and then having a family is almost like the ultimate commitment, because that's like forever. So it was definitely interesting to see the different points of view, gay or straight, about what commitment meant, especially to Bryan and to David, and how they differed. What did you think about that, Kristyn?
Yeah, I mean, I think what was really interesting is that Ryan Murphy, each and every week, doesn't just present, he's not trying to slap you over the head with, like, it just should be gay marriage, and that's it. He presents many, many sides of the coin, because, you know, you're talking about single mothers, you're talking about people that don't believe in gay marriage, but also have their own divorces. And so sometimes you sit there and think, if they think marriage is, you know, the ultimate in terms of commitment, but they can't do it themselves in terms of holding that commitment, what does that mean? And why, you know, these two gay men are together, so why can't they get married? So it brings all these different questions and issues into the fold, and that's what I do love about the writing on this show. And I think that it raised some really great questions over a 9-year-old's pretend wedding.
Exactly. It brought out where this all really comes from, and what to teach a child, and who believes in what. And we saw a lot of different funny little excerpts of, like, for example, Nana was obviously having a problem with, every episode she has a problem. She's having a problem with this pretend wedding happening between Wilbur, the character that we've seen before, and Shania, and how they just get each other and they're having this pretend wedding. And of course, the, you know, open-minded progressive parents that, or, you know, well, David and Bryan aren't Shania's parents, but they act sort of as the other side to the mother that Goldie is, and they're sort of trying to just let her, yeah, okay, let's just have this pretend wedding. If that's what you want, go for it. Of course, Nana has a problem, and there's a funny little part where Nana rounds up a couple of girls at school and says, I handpicked you girls because I noticed the Romney stickers on your parents' bumpers. And, you know, they are regurgitating some of the things that the other side, Nana's side, kind of feels like, you know, they always do those little aside interviews, and some of those little girls were like, well, my uncle was gay, but we cured him, and now he's a youth pastor. They were just,
I know, the ridiculous part of marriage when they can cure people of homosexuality, which doesn't exist, people. I will say that the blanket statement, it doesn't exist. You're either gay or you're not. Yeah.
We all know that. And, or, well, that's what I believe. And
science will tell you that.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. Big up to that one. Holla. And Nana also sort of gave a shout out to the 1 million moms in this episode too. She said, now before you girls, to these same little girls at school that we're referring to now, before you girls become part of 1 Million Moms, let's just get this straight. And she's kind of laying down the rules. But what I kind of like, I'm going back to with what you were saying before, Kristyn, is that Ryan Murphy, he definitely brings in all sides of the argument, and they're from an informed side. And he makes fun of the gay, progressive, democratic standpoint as well. He pokes fun at that too. I mean, he's, throwing stereotypes in there as well.
He has to. I think he has to. Otherwise, you're going to alienate 50% of your audience right then and there. And that doesn't change minds, or that doesn't even open people's minds. So
yeah. And I think it's nice to see two informed opinions who can also laugh at themselves come together and have an argument or a debate throughout the show. That's basically what's happening. And I think Ellen Barkin is like the perfect character to do that, because she's just so like, she has that harsh delivery and she really just goes for it. But I do like that her character, Nana, is smart. She's not just like being a bigot and being, ignorant. I don't agree with the things she says, but she has her own viewpoint, and they're come from a valid place in her mind. And I think it's interesting to see how she views commitment. And she had a problem with commitment because she was saying, well, you know what kind of example you're setting for your daughter. And Goldie said, I know you don't agree with Bryan and David's relationship. And she said, no, it's not that. It's you and I. We came from 2 broken marriages, and we're her direct example. And plus, now you have these gay guys parading in front of her, which she has a problem with. But I thought that was interesting for her to kind of take responsibility, because sometimes we see her pointing fingers at other people.
Right, and you don't want that hypocrisy or anything, because sometimes, she's saying her way is better than having Bryan and David together, yet at the same time, she's still saying, I didn't get it right with my marriage.
That didn't work either.
Right. And, I think the point is really across, at least on my side, but across the board, though, it's better just to have a 2-parent home, no matter whether it's male, female, 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 male, male. It doesn't matter. I think it's better for any child to have 2 parents in the household. It doesn't work that way perfectly in our society at all. So, I'm glad that they had Nana aware of it, and at least finding fault in, being a 1-parent household.
Yeah, regardless of what the 2-parent side could be.
Correct.
And I think that I also liked, again, we talk about this often in the show, that David and Bryan are so different, and that Bryan plays the more feminine woman in the relationship, and that David is like the man, and the more masculine man, the stereotype. And in this episode, we saw it again. Bryan was very, very all about wanting to get married. I love when they do this flashback scenes, by the way. And they did a flashback scene of David and Bryan at dinner. Clearly, they had just started dating. They were making references to like J-Lo and Ben Affleck being together. So we know that they were back in time.
And Madonna and Guy Ritchie. And what's funny about the Guy Ritchie thing, watching it today, Guy Ritchie got engaged like yesterday.
Oh, no.
To his baby's mama.
Baby mama.
In real life, they had a baby last fall, and she's pregnant again with their second baby. I know they're going to have like babies like a year apart, basically.
Wow.
But it's just kind of ironic.
Very
how that
current.
Played into the story.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that he was just engaged. Well, look at that.
Breaking news here on AfterBuzz.
Breaking news.
Dun dun.
Yeah. But I thought that I love the flashback scenes. I think they're super cute. And we get to see kind of how, little snippets into how they met. And we find out right then and there that Bryan is totally fine. He wants to get married and all of that, but David, not so much. He said he has the standpoint of not until he's like the Bryanzilla, not until everyone can get married do I want to get married. But then David or Bryan comes back with, well, what about having kids? And David said, well, now that I could go for it.
With the right guy.
With the right guy.
Which was clearly Bryan. But you know what's so interesting? And I'm watching this storyline sort of evolve as we get into more and more episodes. But David, in some ways, is more like Nana than you would think, in terms of being a little bit more conservative.
Yes.
Having very strong opinions and everything else. He's a little bit more malleable and changing his opinions and things like that. Yes. However, it's interesting to watch that,
Well, didn't we touch on the episode, not the last episode, but the episode before? I'm forgetting the title of it, but it was Obama Mama or something like that. Didn't we kind of,
he voting for Romney.
alluded that he was voting for Romney. So Yeah, I mean, yes, there are some similarities there. And I like that Ryan Murphy plays with the boundaries here. He doesn't just make, we might see the two boys being the stereotypical gay couple with like one's the woman and one's the man. But you know what? He doesn't make his gay couple very stereotypical in every detail. Whereas here, David is not like some super left-wing, uber liberal, guy. He could have a Republican point of view, and obviously that is quite possible.
Yeah,
and
he's a gay Republican, closeted gay Republican.
Who'da thunk? Yeah,
so
exactly.
Interesting.
So I like that, and I like again how, with the dynamic between David and Bryan, how we get to see that. Bryan really, really wants to get married, and he's obviously acting out all of these fantasies as he's planning this fake wedding for Shania. I mean, going the whole nine, getting lamb sliders and cake pops, and like, who did they invite? Willow Smith, who declined.
She declined, but they had a tasting menu. They did a tasting menu before they even, came up with the official menu.
So clearly he's manifesting all these wants and needs, and as the episode goes on, David sees how much this means to him, and again, with his malleable point of view, he sort of turns at the end. But when he did finally propose, which was the cutest scene. I mean, first of all, I just love Kristyn Burtt. I love them all, but he is just so freaking dreamy, and he gets down on one knee, and I was like, oh my God.
Is he in your top 5?
You know what? I think he is now.
I think so. I'm starting to think it.
I mean, maybe an alternate moving up into the 5 space. Because, you have to have an alternate. He could be, no, you know what? He's up there. Who am I kidding? I love him.
I know every episode that we watch together.
I'm just like, I fall more and more in love with him. But he was so cute. So he brings Bryan into the office because he wants to ask him a very important question, but he needs to do it in front of the baby. So they have Goldie there hooked up to the ultrasound. The baby's heartbeat starts, and he's down on one knee proposing. And that's where it kind of all ties up in a pretty little package. He says, I want to be with you. Will you be my husband? And Bryan says, but you don't believe in marriage. And he says, but I believe in family, and family's the ultimate commitment. And you believe in marriage, and I believe in us. And it was so freaking cute. I almost died. And that was, I like how they mended their beliefs together right there. Because family is the ultimate commitment. I know people who have babies before they get married, and it's like, you know what? It doesn't have to be done like 1 + 1 = 2. I mean, you're gonna have a kid with somebody, that's like,
that's a forever commitment.
Forever. I mean, and of course, some people might say that it's wrong to think of marriage as not a forever commitment, because technically it should be, but
right.
It's a piece of paper, and you can get divorced. And
in this day and age, it's very easy to get divorced.
Cut it off. A child is a life.
Absolutely.
It's a different story. So I liked that family versus marriage commitment thing. I thought that was an interesting way to bring that all out.
Yeah, and again, it's raising a lot of election year topics and things like that a lot of people are debating.
Yes.
And everyone has their opinions. There's not really any middle ground, unfortunately, in our country anymore. But I think Ryan Murphy's been doing a nice job of, showing us both sides and why people believe what they do.
Yeah, I think that's why I like watching this show. I like seeing it all. I'm a very even keel type girl. I like to see all the sides of the argument, and I think this is a really great representation, with also being funny and throwing a little stereotype in here and there. I mean, he makes it interesting.
I think some of his stereotypes have softened a little bit as we get episode 6. We're in the 6th week, because I felt like we were being hit, and I know AJ, when he's been here, has talked a little bit about those stereotypes. We've been hit over the head with a few of them, and I feel like, with brand new shows, it does take usually about 4 episodes for the writers to settle into the characters, for the actors to feel comfortable, and to the whole cast to gel together. And I think it's nice that there's some stereotypes there, but they're softening it a little bit.
They're softening. They're for comic relief. And I think that, I don't know, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I feel like, for example, like a show like Friends, which was a great, great sitcom, one of the best, I think. You watch the first episode and you're like, whoa, all their characters are like way overboard. Like you feel like they're hitting you over the head with like, hi, I'm Ross, and hi, I'm Monica, I'm super neurotic. And like, it's funny, but you don't know until you look back. I mean, what was it? 11 seasons of Friends, 12 seasons of Friends.
I think it was definitely 9 or 10. I don't know if maybe it was 11.
I don't know. I should know. I have all of
it up for you.
Yeah. But anyway, you look back and you see these actors and these characters evolve so greatly. And I think that you're absolutely right. We are already seeing that evolution. Like maybe at first it was kind of a controversial topic and a controversial show idea. And I think maybe they just sort of like laid it out there for you. And now they're sort of settling. You're getting to know, when Nana walks in the room, you kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, and that's really a big deal because it's one of those that if you just keep it the same as the first couple episodes, you're never really going to find that nice groove, and you're never going to find that middle ground where you get to those sweet spots where you discover what the characters are really about and where the story's going.
Yeah, and I love that Ryan Murphy always sneaks in, like we talked about again, and Ali Adler, the other creator of the show, little short little stories about something very personal about the characters. And we see it in those flashbacks, or we see it when Nana talks about her husband, catching her husband with another man. It's a kind of a way to counterbalance those really funny, comical, like very stereotypical moments, because then you get to see who they really are and not who they're living on the surface trying to, banter with each other. So I honestly, I really do think that the writing is really awesome on the show, because it gets every sort of aspect involved, every side of the argument, personal things, surface things. I just really like this show, obviously.
This is good, though. No, I mean, it's good. And, I think NBC is seeing it, too, and that's why they picked it up for a full season order last week. And, it does make a difference because they're starting to probably see, they get the advanced episodes so they can see them ahead of time, but they see where the storyline's going, and you just kind of have to trust the writers that they know what these characters are going to do and where they go.
And then the actors do such a good job of portraying them all. I love it. Did you find anything about?
Yeah, it was 94 to 2004. So
10. Darn it, I was off. Speaking of looking things up, we, on your phones or on your computers, we love when you go to iTunes and you rate and comment, and we love hearing what you have to say and all your tweets and all your amazing feedback, good and bad. Keeps the lights on here for us, so please go to iTunes and rate and comment and let us know what you think.
Yes, I always respond to comments, so
yeah,
feel free to let us know what you want to hear, what you want us to discuss.
Keep the convo going.
Yep, absolutely. Love
it. Okay, and then also we've touched on this a little bit with Shania's fake wedding and the issues, and sort of we did kind of talk about this a little bit, but the issues that it brings up between a lot of the characters in the show, David and Bryan, and their differences and all of that. What did you think was going to happen? Because at first he kind of laid it out. He was like, look, I on the date, on the flashback, I don't want to get married. And Bryan was like, I do. What did you think was going to happen? Did you think he was going to propose at the end? Because I did not think it was going to go down like that.
I didn't think it was going to happen so soon. So that was a little bit of like wrapping up the storyline with the neat little bow. So,
sometimes I like that, but sometimes it can be a little cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a sweet scene and a sweet ending to the episode, but at the same time, I think I probably would have preferred this discussion, stretch it out for maybe 2 or 3 episodes, have a nice little arc to it.
Right.
Because it really wrapped up very quickly.
It did wrap up very quickly. I was surprised that they did that. I think it would have been interesting to stretch it out a little, but maybe that's more of like a dramatic standpoint. I don't know if the sitcom writing has a formula. Maybe that doesn't, I don't know, maybe not. But I will say, though, they kind of got me in that last scene. I just think that they are so genuine. Justin Bartha and Andrew Rannells are so genuine together.
Great chemistry.
And I cannot take my eyes off of them when they're together. And like the tears welling up in their eyes, just like, I don't know. I just feel like it was so...
Well, they sold it. I mean, you believe that they're a couple.
100% sold it. I don't feel like I am watching a gay couple. I feel like I'm just watching 2 people in love like I would a man and a woman, or even a woman and a woman. It's no different to me.
Right.
They sell it. It's also because of my beliefs, but I think just they sell it so well. You just see their genuine human feelings, and it doesn't matter what they are or who they believe or what they believe in. But it was a little cheesy to wrap it up like that, I will say, but I just think they are so damn cute.
Yeah, and I think that they write the relationship very well because it is genuine and they do have their differences. It's not every day is like sunny and, you know, sunshine and roses. It's one of those things that they do have challenges. They don't necessarily agree all of the time, but they're able to either compromise or find a resolution to their differences. And I think that's where you see the sweetness to their relationship because bottom line, at the end of the day, they truly love each other.
Yes.
And I like that they've really brought Goldie and Shania into the fold, and you know that they truly love them too.
Yeah. And they do, and they're very like, they want to include them in everything. And I think that's so super cute. And I think it's nice to see the relationship between Goldie and Shania kind of blossom within that like family home that they've been given through the boys, even though Nana comes in and kind of disturbs the peace a little bit. And you know, Goldie tried to send Nana home this episode.
Send her right back to Ohio.
She was like, go home. And Nana's like, fine, I'm going back to my hotel. And she was like, no, I mean go back to Ohio. But of course, Nana, there's no...
Nana likes that hotel, though. She's getting down and dirty in that hotel.
She has had some action in that hotel, and it was interesting to see. I think Ellen Barkin is so beautiful. I'm like, whoa, dude, she's
stunning.
She's smoking.
She's stunning. They had Ellen Barkin and Nene Leakes, I think last week on Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live together on Bravo TV.
Love that.
They've got great chemistry. You can tell that this entire cast really likes each other. They get along well. And clearly Nene Leakes comes from a reality show background, but and Ellen Barkin is a Tony Award winner. And you sit there and go, but they're all very, again, accepting of differences and really welcoming to the set and to the show, and I think that's kind of fascinating. We have touched on this before too. They all come from such different backgrounds. Like Justin Barth has been in movies, and Andrew Rannells in theater, and Ellen Barkin the same, and obviously Nene in reality TV. And it is so interesting to see how that just all like melts together so nicely. It really does. And I find it fascinating too that Nene Leakes was saying she did the current season of Atlanta Housewives, so she did that concurrently while shooting the new normal.
That's right. That would make sense because that's airing right now on Bravo. And I think Nene, I was very interested to see how this was going to play out with her and how she was going to be. I think she's great.
She's great. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't take me out of the show, and I think that's really genius. Not only it says a lot about Nene's acting, but it also speaks volumes about the writing on the show. I don't sit there and think, oh, she's going to have a fight with Kim Zolciak, and they're going to sit there and pull each other's weaves out and like whatever
and
else
call
they
each
do.
other heifers,
whatever they do, and that's really an amazing skill.
I mean, the casting, you have to give it up to the casting on that one because they found someone who has a big personality and knows how to just be honest. You know, I love the dynamics of the show, all the characters, the story, all of it I think is great. And I'm just very excited that it got picked up.
Yeah, I am
very excited.
You know what I thought was really interesting in the show too, and we just saw a little glimpse of this, but that Clint, which is Rocky's and Nene Leakes' brother, came in to officiate the fake wedding, but we kind of learned that he had called her for a date. Now, I had assumed, given the last episode, that he was out. He found out
having a baby,
and he was like, I'm out. But clearly, it was Goldie that put the brakes on the relationship.
Yeah. And I like that he came back into the picture and was sort of like, hey, I came here just to see you.
Sweet.
So that is something that they kind of dangled for us there. They didn't wrap that one in a pretty little bow this episode.
Which is good. I'm glad. That one, I think, especially where she's pregnant and everything else and she's new to California, I do feel like that relationship needs to evolve slowly. It shouldn't just be like, okay, great, and here's your new daddy and let's get married.
Right. And they also touched on the custody battle that's happening too, and we just a little bit. We don't know where that's going, but we do know that it's still dangling. It still hasn't been figured out yet. Goldie still is sort of waiting to see if she needs to go back to Ohio and address anything. So that's still in the play, but they didn't really touch on that much either. So we'll see where that
My guess is that they're going to play this out all season and that the custody battle comes to a climax in the season finale.
Okay, like a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Prediction early here, folks.
No, that was an early prediction, but I just thought of it. It was a lightning bolt. Sorry.
We just say what we think when it comes naturally.
Yes.
For you, and that was perfect example right here, folks. All right. Well, do we want to talk about the lineup, our new lineup, our fall lineup.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I know a lot of you have been watching the new normal, but we have a whole fall slate here at AfterBuzz TV that we're really excited about. Over 50 shows. Everything you can think of. I know that Nashville's debuting tomorrow, and
I'm hosting that one. Thank you very much.
Good for you. That's an awesome show. I've got Dancing with the Stars that I'm doing on Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific time, so that'll be 10 p.m. Eastern for you guys on the East Coast. And we've been bringing in a lot of guests from the show, which has been fun.
That's so fun. I love that show.
We had a bunch of the dancers from the troupe last week, so I know. And they were very loose-lipped, which was kind of fun, so we got a lot of the inside scoop. So if you don't see something on the list for our fall slate and you want it and you want us to discuss it, let us know. AfterBuzzTV.com, and because we'd love to cover it.
Yeah, we try and cover everything. We love talking about all the fun, good new shows that are on TV, and we definitely want to hear if there's something out there that you think we're missing.
You've got a good one with Nashville, though.
Nashville's
good
fun.
Show.
America's Next Top Model I do, too, and that's fun because we get the eliminated guests to call in, and some of those guests, or some of those contestants are really loose-lipped, too, and so you get to hear a lot about what goes on behind the scenes. Reality TV has a lot going on behind the scenes. So it's so interesting. So please, please let us know if there's something you want us to buzz about here at AfterBuzz TV, or just watch the ones we have. We have 50 shows to pick from, so I'm sure we'll cover something that you watch.
We've got something for you. Something for everyone.
Right? Okay, well, let's get into a little bit of news and gossip, shall we?
Let's do it.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, well, as Kristyn said earlier, NBC just greenlit the new normal for a full freshman season.
Woohoo!
Ba-bam. That's right. So excited about that because it's a very controversial show, and we weren't sure that it was gonna get very far. The ratings dropped a little.
Yeah, they were a little soft.
Yeah.
And it's dropping, Go On, which is Matthew Perry's show, which airs right before it, has had a little stronger ratings, and then it sort of dropped off for the new normal. But I'm glad that NBC sees the benefit and sees the writing and sees the quality of the show, so they're going to stick it out for season 1.
That's awesome. And I think their plan was sort of to come in strong after the Olympics, and kind of get that to keep that momentum going. And, they hit us in the face with some risky stuff, but we love it. We love Ryan Murphy, so we're very, very glad, all of you super fans out there. Full season, waiting for you. Also, I read a very interesting article that Ellen Barkin, it was a little interview, and it was on YahooTV.com, and she sort of talked about how very passionate she is about her role as Nana, and she says it was just like a really easy yes for her to take this on. That normally she kind of just put all of her other projects aside to keep coming in for this show because she just felt so strongly about it. And she says that her views are actually like the exact opposite of Nana.
Yes.
Which I would have guessed, but I think that's interesting. And she also talks about all of the stereotypes and everything that they kind of bring up in the show, and she thinks that Nana is what I quote her saying, is a great way to reach the other side. It's not just to represent an ignorant hater, it's a very well-informed hater, and she has an informed position. So I do think that it comes out in the show. We've
been talking about this a lot. So
she comes from a very informed point of view, and she's representing that side, even though that's not really what she believes in. And she also said that this part is very easy for me to play because I take myself and my own views and I flip them. So I think that's maybe where she's obviously very passionate about the other standpoint to the argument, and I think that she uses it, and it shows in her acting.
It does show, and I am predicting an Emmy nomination for her next year. I am.
I would love that. I love
supporting
her.
category.
Oh my gosh.
I said it right here.
Another prediction. Well,
I'm just going all out of order. I know. I'm sorry, you guys.
Let's move into the regular predictions because somebody's trying to mess with our format. What are you even going to say?
I don't know. AfterBuzz TV.
All right, well.
I'll throw out mine just so we put them on record and then put them in this little category right here since I love to go out of order. So I said, Emmy nomination for Ellen Barkin, the supporting category.
Yes.
And then what was
the cliffhanger to the end of the season is going to be the custody battle.
The custody battle, that's right. So it's going to play out all season long.
I think that is true. And I'm going to predict, this is not as like amazing of predictions that you've been doing all night, but I'm just going to say we're going to find out the sex of the baby soon, and I vote boy.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
I just feel
we already
like
have a girl with Shania.
With Shania. I think it's going to be a boy.
I agree.
I don't know about the name yet. That will be next week. but I think boy.
I think that's a good prediction.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening and watching. We were very excited to buzz about the show with you guys. And now that we have a whole season, tune in and watch. We will be here next week. Thanks so much.
I'm Kristyn Burtt.
And I am Lauren Leonelli. That's right. And where can we find you, Kristyn?
At Kristyn Burtt. It's KRISTYNBURTT.
And you can find me at Lauren Leonelli on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and my website.
Hooray!
Yay!
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.